Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. We'll get started in just a couple seconds here. All right, I want to thank everyone for coming. We said we were going to start at 1, so we're going to go ahead and try to stick with that time frame. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and get started on our slides for the day. Just want to encourage everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the type box. I'll keep my eyes peeled for that. We definitely encourage you to ask questions and throw anything out there that we can answer while we're here together. So, I want to get started. This is your Navigate Your Resources and Support Navigate session. Today, we're going to be talking about spiritual resources, but wanted to step back and just remind you a little bit about what this program is about in case you're new. So, my name is Elisa Salazar. I'm your work life consultant, and I'm here to help faculty and staff with any of their work life needs. And so, we'll talk a little bit more about what I can do to help at the end. But our intent of this program is to share resources with you. And we're going to use the Wellness Wheel as our navigation tool. This is a tool developed by Campus Rec, Kayla Couples, and it's used on the student side to help students think about their wellness in a holistic way. And so we thought, why not also talk about wellness on the faculty staff side in the same way? There's different aspects of your wellness that we want to focus on. And this is an online session where we are going to take 15 minutes just to briefly talk about each of those sections. We'll be posting the rest of the videos as well as sending out some slides that have links to all the resources that we talk about today. So just keep that in mind and look out for that. And the reason we're doing this is because 82% of students say they care about your overall well-being. It was a survey done by the 2018 by the Wellness Task Force. And so students care about your well-being. They want you to be well. And that's an important aspect of why we're doing what we're doing today. So in HR, we get a lot of different types of questions, and some of the questions are based around spiritual resources. So you have questions such as like, where can I learn more about meditation, mindfulness, and spiritual resources as an employee on campus? And we have answers for you. So we've invited 2 guest speakers to come in and talk to you today. And so I'm going to start it off with Kevin McIntosh, who's the coordinator of Campus Interfaith, to share some resources that we have online. So Kevin, if you want to go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, hi everybody. Again, I'm Kevin McIntosh. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I'm with Campus Interfaith Resources within the Division of Inclusion and Equity. So just 2 really quick things that we have on campus for you all just to know about is in all 3 of our campuses, so in Allendale and CHS and on the Pew campus, we have an interfaith reflection room. In Kirkhoff, in Allendale, it's in the Kirkhoff Center upstairs, room 2243. On the Pew campus, it's in the D building, and I blanked on what room it is, 309E, E building. And that's only from 12 to 5. It's a classroom in between those times. When we asked our students, especially what times they needed it, that's what they said. And then lastly, on the health campus, it's in CHS on the first floor, room 166. And those spaces are for anybody, faculty, staff, and student to be able to go in for personal meditation, prayer, reflection. In the Kirkhoff Center, we have it was donated by MSA. We have some prayer rugs. We have in Kirkhoff Center that was donated by numerous student groups, sacred texts of different types. And in all these spaces, it's really for personal reflection, personal meditation. So these rooms can't be booked. You're supposed to only use it really for those intended purposes, whether it's prayer, meditation, reflection, and making sure that people are just respectful for others that are using it. We also know that at Grand Valley, we are made up of numerous different faiths and traditions, and that our calendar is sometimes overlaps the Christian holiday calendar a lot. So we also have just other religious holidays and spiritual holidays to be aware of. So on here, we have them up till winter 2021, starting from fall 2019. Those will be coming down soon. We'll go to winter 2022 as people start thinking and planning through schedules and events, and as you book or as you create programs that is going on. I also would love to just give one plug for an event we're doing tonight at 6 p.m. and you can sign up online. If you go to the full events calendar down there, we're having an interfaith gathering tonight just around, and you can hear words of hope and community from various religious and spiritual traditions. So you're welcome to join that as well. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Kevin. Feel free, like I said, if you have any questions throughout the presentation to chat specifically for Kevin. But I'm also going to introduce Dr. Heather Wallace. She is a faculty in the College of Health Professions, and she's going to go over some additional community and just virtual online resources as well. So Heather, feel free to jump in.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for coming and thanks for the opportunity to be here. So I'm going to talk quickly about some of the resources that we have in the way of mindfulness and contemplative learning, and just using contemplation in your own life, mainly as a way to build resilience and help reduce stress and anxiety as part of perhaps your spiritual life, or just for your own emotional and mental health as well. So the first thing I wanted to point out here is Elisa has pulled up this webpage. This is the Mindfulness and Kindness at GVSU website that can be accessed through Benefits and Wellness. This is a great way, I think, you can pull up these cards and spend a couple of minutes thinking about all the ways that the people around us at work, or even maybe our neighbors or people in our community now that we're not in the workplace, but to just take a few minutes and write something down that you're thankful for, or appreciative of, and to share that with your loved ones and your your friends and family. It can be a nice way to increase feelings of gratitude and share something nice with someone you care about. So the next thing you see here is the self-care toolkit. There's some links here up at the top under toolkits. You see the conscious communication and action toolkit as well. And these are resources that were developed and are here on the webpage for you to read through, and that can offer some additional practices that you can learn as a skill set and practice, also as a way to build resilience. So the mindfulness page that you're seeing in front of you has some additional tools. You can see the links towards the bottom left of the page. The non-judgmental awareness, self-compassion and acceptance, self-care, which is incredibly important right now as we all try to struggle with the uncertainty and perhaps just the lack of perhaps routine that we all have in our life right now. So some useful information there as well. And then I wanted to talk about the community of support that I myself have developed and been offering the last semester or two, last 2 semesters, that's right. So it's a community of support for mindfulness in higher education. It's a group of us that comes together once a month, both in the Allendale campus and downtown at the health campus. And it's myself and Dr. Karen Gibson, and we hold those once a month with readings and talk, really trying to create a safe place for those of us in higher education to come together and talk about how we can use mindfulness in our classrooms and in our professional work at Grand Valley State, but also how that might leak over into our personal lives as well. And then in a similar vein is the FLC, or Faculty Learning Community, through the FTLC. And that is done by Martina Reinhold, and it is also an examination, an opportunity for people to come together. It's a rather robust group, lots of great conversation around how do we do this thing called mindfulness, and is it worthwhile, and what are some of the challenges and benefits that we experience personally. So it's a great place to share that information. Okay. So I'm not sure how I'm doing on time. Elisa, is there anything else that I've missed?
Sorry about that. My mic was not muted. Yeah, we have like 3 or 4 more minutes if you want to go over some of the president or the governor's initiative,
Sure.
and as well as some community ones. And then I do have one question for Kevin that we can circle back after you go through those.
Okay, so I'll just quickly mention 3 other resources, and these are not that Grand Valley based. And the first is called Headspace, and Headspace is a really popular app. You can access it on the internet. You can see it here on the screen, and it is based on mindfulness, and it's a tool to help build personal mindfulness practices and skills. So if you look on this page, you'll be able to learn more about what mindfulness is, what's the science behind mindfulness, and what you might expect if you try to build a practice. And then what oftentimes people are looking for is meditation. So you can see there's some short 3-minute ones all the way up to 10 minutes. And this is just a little scoop of what you can find on that webpage. And then I also wanted to point out the On Being by Krista Tippett webpage. They have created what's called a care package for uncertain times. So if mindfulness isn't perhaps your thing, or meditation, there are poems, there's writings, there's reflective prompts, there are meditations. There's a lot of different things there to try to soothe some feelings, those feelings of anxiety and stress as we're living in this pandemic. And then the last resource is the Dominican Center, which is a local organization, and they've partnered with us in the past in a variety of different ways. And I know Kevin could talk about some of the events that they've done in collaboration with the Dominican Center. It's a local organization. It's at Marywood here in Grand Rapids. But if you follow their learning programs, or just go down towards the bottom of the page, there's a number of these virtual sessions that you can participate in. So receiving a daily blessing online, learning to be still and calm in times of uncertainty. So there's a variety of resources there as well that you can use, and also support a local organization.
Thanks. Kevin, how does one sign up for the event you mentioned tonight?
Yeah, so if you go to the event page itself, there's an RSVP link
Okay.
right there. If you just click on that, you'll go to a registration page. You put your email in. As soon as you put your email in, you'll get an invite for a Zoom meeting tonight.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, if there's any other questions, feel free to type in the box. I think that's all we had for the moment. We will link up to additional resources that Heather Wallace mentioned in the package that we send out to everybody. So just to wrap up, I wanted to say, there are plenty of resources for your work and life, and I'm happy to be a partner with you in developing your own personal wellness plan and what that looks like based on your individual needs. So feel free, if you click this picture, once you get the presentation, it'll take you right to my appointment manager, and I do have virtual appointments available. We do have one more session left in the series. It's environmental resources. It's based on virtual learning. So for any of you folks that are having young people at home that you're having to try to do some learning with, there'll be lots of resources based on that on our next session, which I believe is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Don't forget to stay connected with us on social media. And again, if you click any of these links, it'll take you to the Benefits and Wellness HR social media pages, which we keep a lot of information up to date in terms of what's going on in the community and at Grand Valley specifically. So we are human resources. We're here to help you. Whether your questions are big or small, we want to help and be a resource to you and make sure that you stay well. With that being said, we do have 2 minutes left. I don't know if anyone else has any questions, feel free to jump in. Otherwise, we appreciate your time.